In this video you will learn about persistent organic pollutants, also known as POPs, and about bioaccumulation and biomagnification. How can POPs travel? The correct answer is A. Persistent organic pollutants can travel over long distances via wind and water before being redeposited. True or false? Can DDT be found in eggshells? The correct answer is A. DDT, found in eggshells. Chemicals used in one region of Earth can circulate in the biosphere and affect organisms in a distant region. What is POPs made out of? The correct answer is D. Persistent organic pollutants, POPs, do not easily break down in the environment because they are synthetic, carbon-based molecules, such as DDT and PCBs. Why are POPs toxic to organisms? The correct answer is B. Persistent organic pollutants can be toxic to organisms because they are soluble in fat, which allows them to accumulate in organisms' fatty tissues. Now let's watch a review video.
They are not just bad, they are toxic, hazardous. That's why they are called persistent organic pollutants, or POPs.
Pops?
Why are POPs bad, Kuya Ninyo?
Aww. When equipment containing these chemicals become waste and get improperly managed, exposed to heat and rain, PCBs and PBDEs are released into the environment. These toxic chemicals seep through the soil, contaminating our groundwater, lakes, our rivers, and the sea. At sea, they are absorbed by phytoplanktons, which are eaten by zooplanktons, which in turn are eaten by fish like the snapper or maya-maya. PCB contamination of animal feeds have also been documented.
What?
Gosh! All these contaminated meat and fish may just end up in our local supermarket, since POPs are carried by the wind and sea currents, and we export and import meat and fish, fresh or processed, that makes POPs transboundary.
Now on to our next subject, which is bioaccumulation and biomagnification. True or false? Biomagnification is most harmful when it is at the lower part of the food web? The correct answer is B. Biomagnification is the increase in concentration of substances per unit of body tissue that occurs in successively higher trophic levels of a food chain or in a food web. The absorption of a substance by an organism at a rate greater than the rate of elimination. True or false? Can biomagnification lead to developmental deformities? The correct answer is A. Some effects that can occur in an ecosystem when a persistent substance is biomagnified in a food chain include eggshell thinning and developmental deformities in top carnivores of the higher trophic levels. What part of the human body can biomagnification affect? The answer is C. Humans also experience harmful effects from biomagnification, including issues with the reproductive, nervous, and circulatory systems. Bioaccumulation is associated with what? The answer is C. Bioaccumulation is the selective absorption and concentration of elements or compounds by cells in a living organism, most commonly fat-soluble compounds. DDT, mercury, and PCBs are substances that bioaccumulate and have significant environmental impacts. What substances have significant environmental impacts? The correct answer is A. Now, after learning about bioaccumulation and biomagnification, let's watch a video.
High-level consumers, such as bald eagles, for example, really took a bad hit from DDT. For bald eagles, this affected reproductive abilities, including severe thinning of bald eagle eggshells. But why? After all, bald eagles do not typically eat the small insects that the DDT targeted. This takes us into our topic of biomagnification. And biomagnification doesn't just involve DDT. There are many chemicals and toxins that can be biomagnified. Mercury is another example that you might hear about. So when you think of anything being magnified, you think of it getting bigger, right? Well, biomagnification describes what happens when toxins become more and more concentrated in the living tissues of organisms as you go up in the food chain.
This concludes the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.